What's going on, my broskiis? My name is Toadski, back again, here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video, and we're going to be doing some more Pirate Rumble action today, having a look at Dory and Broggy. Now, as for this celebration with the whole versus units, I haven't really touched upon the side units that have been debuting next to the Super Sugos, because a lot of these side units have been pretty underwhelming and not that exciting at all. However, Dory and Broggy bring something to the table that I think is actually pretty goddamn solid. I think overall, they've got a really good kit in Pirate Rumble that's going to work really well, and they synergize pretty good with these strength slasher characters. On this team, of course, we've got K-Dad, we've got V1 Odin, which we all know are very, very good characters in Pirate Rumble. And then you've got Toki as well, which is a nice unit to support the strength allies, the strength and slasher allies that we have on our side of the field. And then, of course, we've got a very, very good array of strength slasher rumble characters that we can go ahead and show off. With Kaku, we have Arlong, we've got Law, potentially you could also put Cracker on the team. There's a lot of good strength slasher rumble rare recruit characters. And this is just first clip here, we absolutely demolished this guy's Dex team. Moving on to the next clip is going to be some challenge difficulty content. Let's take this time now to actually talk about what Dory and Broggy are actually bringing to this team. So first of which, they do give strength and slasher characters 6 attack, 6 health, and then they give slasher teammates 6 speed specifically. So, you know, strength and slasher get the attack and HP, but then just slasher get an additional speed buff. And then if you've got one of the redhead pirates on the crew, whether it be from Shanks, Yasop, Beckman, Lucky Roo, all the way down to characters like Hongo, Building Snake, Rockstar even, if you have one of those units on your crew, then he gives himself a level 4 special CT increase and level 4 defense increase. So it's honestly really good, considering that their special CT is a little on the high side at 36. Having as much special CT as possible is going to give this character a much bigger chance to shine, which is why I definitely think that version 1 Odin is going to be kind of a mainstay to use next to them, as V1 Odin provides some special CT increase to the slasher characters on your crew. So very, very good in regards to that. The Rumble ability is solid, you know, attack, HP, speed, and then giving them self-defense and special CT. It would have been nice if the defense was to all characters, because slashers and strength specifically don't have the best defensive capabilities. So any, you know, increase in defense would have been a nice addition to the squad, but at the end of the day, at least it's nice that this character gets their own version of defense. But overall, a pretty solid Rumble ability. But the highlight of this unit definitely is that Rumble Special. The Rumble Special does 4 times their attack in a large horizontal range, and then it will target your strength allies for a 5 attack increase, and then target your slasher characters for a 5 attack increase. So if you're running strength slashers like we're doing here, they give a level 10 attack increase. It is a bit of a shame that the damage is occurred first and then they give an attack buff. However, if you have one of the redhead pirates on the crew, he then goes and gives all enemies 100% chance of half defense for 10 seconds, and then does 2 times damage towards those characters. So it is not completely half stats, but if a character does have the ability or the resistance to resist half stats, then half defense obviously still does not work on those types of characters. But the fact that that inflicts it to everyone and then also does 2 times damage on top, if you're able to get enough copies into Dory and Broggy with enough investments, this character is going to hit absurdly hard against opponents. Now this next clip is going to absolutely just show the pure strength and might of the Strength Slasher squad as we absolutely melt through this challenge difficulty team. I will admit that this is not the best team composition out there in terms of the characters that they decided to put on them, and especially in terms of the way that they've organized the team, with Dex, Tandem, Luffy being on the bench. But the speed at which that we deal with this opponent is pretty crazy. Now, what I will say is that I have tested this team against like a quote-unquote meta team with like Tandem Ace, potentially characters like Memories of Straw Hats Usopp and stuff like that, and this team definitely isn't perfect. There are times where this team can have a lot of their characters knocked out, because, as I said at the start, you know, this character, or this team rather, doesn't have the best defensive capabilities. So if your opponent does get the opportunity to start launching their specials against you, then yeah, things can get a little dicey for damn sure. But you've got characters like Toki and Kaku, which can reduce the CT and the defenses of your opponent, so you're aiming to kill them before they can do any damage towards you. The final clip of the video is going to be against one of the most notorious challenge difficulty ones, against the challenge difficulty Pell. I remember when this first came out, it was one of the most difficult ones to take down because of the sheer defensive capabilities of this squad. And of course, in normal Rumble, you need to kill all characters in order to guarantee the win, unlike, you know, Grand Party, where you just have to get more characters remaining than the opponent. But of course, nowadays we've got so many characters that can do damage through defense that it really doesn't matter that much anymore. Like, the Pell Challenge definitely can be a bit of an issue because you got Tandem Luffy that can revive them, so you basically need to kill like 9 characters instead of the typical 8. But, you know, with this all in mind, it still is a pretty easy victory with this squad. However, the opponent can still do some pretty nasty stuff, and, you know, you got Queen, which can action bind us and things like that. The real question is that many people will have is, like, is this going to overtake the typical strength team that people will use now to take on current Dex teams? And in my opinion, I don't think so quite yet. I wish we had a different character compared to Toki that would be a bit more of a stronger utility. Toki, what she does, just in my opinion, isn't good enough. I think that there needs to be a character on the level of like Pudding in terms of special CT increase, something like that. And I wish that Toki provided more with her special, which she just doesn't do enough in my opinion. And the Rumble rare recruits are perfectly fine. If we had a good character that was a strength slasher that would synergize with Dorian Broggy, that was one of the redhead pirates, then that would be even better, but there really isn't one at the moment, so you kind of just have to inject a random redhead pirate into your crew to get the most out of Dorian Broggy. But I will say, Dorian Broggy in a vacuum by themselves on paper, phenomenal character to be using in Rumble. You just have to pair them with the good characters like V1, Odin, and K-Dad or Kinemon Denjiro, Ashura, and Dogstorm. So hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to go ahead and leave a like, and if you want to stay up to date with all the content I post, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. On that, guys, I'll see you guys within the next video.